Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Lisa's Love and Light. Thank you all for being here today. Happy Tuesday. I said I would be here after 2 p.m. today because I can't give an exact time, but I will be here probably for the next 2 weeks after 2 p.m. Um, that's the time I'm probably going to be on here. So, trying to get a lot of things off my plate. I've gotten some things off, so that's a really big goal of mine because time management and me, I'm trying to make it work, guys. My time management is, I'm getting better little by little. So let's put it that way. So, how are you guys doing? The weather is nice out. It's not too hot. The sun is shining. I think it's in the 70s. And it's a really good day. So I hope all is going well with you and you guys are having a good day. I hope these videos are really helping you, and please share them with other people, especially those who need to hear the message. So feel free to share them, and let me know what you think in the comment categories. Tell me if these videos are helping you. Leave me some comments. And what we do on this channel here is this is a no judgment zone. We're here to help people, especially people who are going through grief and depression and is starting to feel despair and perhaps hopelessness. And we don't ever want anyone to stay or be in a place of hopelessness. So I'm here sharing my personal experiences, my true personal experiences of everything that I've gone through and how I persevere through all the pain, and how I went from A to B with the help of God because I couldn't do it alone. And I didn't have a support system of people cheering me on, encouraging me. So my whole source and support was God. So let's jump into this topic today. One other thing, please note that I'm not a therapist or social worker. I don't have a social, uh, what I meant to say is, I don't have a certification in that category or degree. I'm someone who's gone through a lot, and I'm sharing some of my experiences of how I was uplifted after going down to zero, and then how God brought me up again. And I hope some of that these videos will resonate with some of you or all of you, and you can take what resonates with you and see if you can apply it in your own circumstances, and perhaps it'll help you as well, as much as it helped me. Now, let's get into this topic of discussion. Today, the topic of discussion is strive for inner peace. Sometimes I have notes and other times I don't, but today I have a few notes because we're going to talk about inner peace and why it's so important. So, when you get so low to the ground and you don't see your way out of it, that made me turn to God, really turn to God. And it also made me think about my mother's words when she was here. There were some things my mom was trying to tell me when she was here about not just perseverance, but taking care of business, because the old version of myself, when things felt like overwhelming, one factor is bills. You get a bill and it's a big bill. Let's say, for example, well, today we say cell phone bill, but back in the day we had, landline phones. But in any case, let's say you get a bill and, you have other bills to pay and you don't deal with that. And you say, I'm going to put this bill, this particular one, I can pay this later. And then later never comes. And what happens? It accumulates, right? Interest, and then it goes on to the next month, and then etc. Well, I used to do that when it comes to certain types of bills, and my mom used to be on me all the time, because I would say, well, it's not that simple, it's not that easy. And she would tell me, well, this is how you organize this and do that. and etc. and so forth, right? And she used to have these conversations with me all the time to the point where she would get frustrated. But I was in a place of feeling like a little overwhelmed and not wanting to be bothered, etc. And I heard everything that she said, guys, because it was like she was repetitive, repeating these things over and over and over again. And I just didn't want to be bothered until, you know, um, when I lost my mom, things changed in my life because I realized the things that I didn't want to be bothered with because I didn't want to address things, not just with bills, just with people and relationships and situations. You know, put that stuff on a back burner was my attitude because I didn't want to deal with it. And even though I heard everything that she told me, because if you don't deal with these things, it's going to get to the point that it's going to grow so big that it's going to be too much for you to deal with. And I had to learn, like I talk about on all these videos, life is um, circumstances and situations come into your life for a reason, a season, a lifetime, or a lesson. And I had plenty of lessons to learn, until they were about to cut off some things. So, like, cut off the phone, cut off the cable. Thank God, never the lights, but, I would get to that point. And I'm talking about these things because my mom used to tell me how to manage certain things because she's gone through stuff, but she never really had those problems. But she always talked to me about how to handle that stuff. And I didn't want to hear it, You know how we are with our parents until one day they're no longer here, right? And the day that she left this world and the reality set in, no more mom, and just having those conversations and talking to her all the time and listening and hearing it, but not following through. I started to, as I did therapy and started to pick up the pieces of where I was in life, I started to follow everything because I never forgot what she said. I just didn't apply it. And I started to apply the things that she told me along with therapy. And I meditate and I'm in prayer a lot. And my life started to get better little by little. And I had to persevere through all the stuff that, not just bills, but just people being subservient, me being subservient to other people. My mom was on me about that too, about not overdoing things for other people. Let them, get themselves out of specific situations. My father really said that a lot to me about one of my siblings. Just, let him fend for himself. Stop trying to help people all the time because you can't help someone who doesn't want to help themselves. But I always thought I could through example and through what I do. But in any event, it didn't work out that way. And after I lost my mom, my dad died first, but after my mom, and everything felt like it was falling apart. And what I noticed is that the people who I helped and who I was kind to and who I was there for in their time of need, there was nobody there for me in my time of need. And it was just horrendous to me. I started for the first time in my life to really understand the words of my parents about letting people use me, letting people take. And they don't have anything else to give. They're just like a leech, just attaching themselves to me, and I'm allowing it to happen. So I changed things in my life, and it wasn't easy. It was so difficult, but I persevered. I didn't give up, and I kept going and going and going. And, through therapy helped me establish boundaries. I would hear those words all the time from my therapist, set these boundaries. And it was hard to set boundaries. Like I said, people just stepping over it. They would just, girl, sit down, shut up kind of attitude, highly disrespecting the boundaries that I put into place. And I kept working through it, working through it. And one day I just said, you know what? They're going to keep doing this over and over again. I'm not riding this Ferris wheel anymore. I'm getting off, cut off, block, and delete. And I started doing that, and people started getting mad and upset. I don't care because I have sat here and dealt with this. I'm going through things, and nobody care, etc., and so forth. And I started, and as I set those boundaries, I started to feel stronger. As I took back my power and put it into myself, I started to feel empowered because now these people are no longer navigating my life. I took the wheel or the bull by the horn, right? And I'm navigating my own life. I'm not letting anyone navigate my life. People can only do what you allow. I've said that before in plenty of videos. People only do what you allow, but I started to implement in my life the things that my mother has been telling me for years that I didn't want to hear. And things started to get better little by little. You take steps, you take one step, you keep taking a step. And like I said, you keep taking steps. You ask God to help you because this is not a one man show. Uh, God will help you if you help yourself. I can't ask God for something and then sit back and wait till He gives it to me. If I don't put in the work, I'm not getting anything. Putting in the work and taking a step. But as I prayed and drew closer to God and asked Him to help me, one step I take, He take two and three. And I keep going and going. And there's days, people that you don't feel well. We have our up days where we feel really good. And then we have those days where we don't even want to get out of bed. And I've had plenty of days like that. But as I continue to move forward, things start to get easier because I'm putting in the work. And that's what it is to strive for inner peace. The first step is, for me, it was therapy. As I continue, like I said, for the first probably few months, we just stared at each other because I had to build up trust in this therapist, right? Um, and so as I did that, I started to talk, and it was an outlet for the pain. And as I release and continue to release and release, I started to work on myself. And what I mean by that, self love. Know that it is important to put yourself as a priority, especially when you go through trials and tribulations of life, losing people, pain and trauma and things. You have to heal those things. And sometimes you need time alone, meditation, listening to music, which is a real healing force. Music. Sometimes I play the piano, even though I don't play that well. I have a song book and just teach myself certain music and things like that that help uplift me and challenge my mind. um, Taking walks in nature, doing things that uplift your spirit and bring peace. It's important because as you start to self love on yourself, you start to heal, and as you heal, you self care. And as you self care, you start to get better little by little. It's not an overnight process. If you keep going, you're gonna start to see the results. It's never gonna be overnight. Some people want things quick like a microwave. Nothing is quick like a microwave. Nothing ventured is nothing gained. We have to keep persevering through the hard times and things will get better, and inner peace is worth it, striving for that because when you start to have the real inner peace, you're unbothered by the toxicity and the drama that's going on with other people and the noise. I tune that stuff out. And if people try to bring that to my table, I will address it in conversation, something that I didn't do before. I would just, you know, have an attitude about things. But I address those things. If it continues to happen, I just cut off, block, and delete. Because nothing is worth destroying my inner peace. When you get to a place of inner peace and you start to grow, heal, and evolve, you don't want the drama. You don't want the negativity or the toxicity that some people bring. Some people love that stuff. And it has no place in my life. If it's not going to enhance or be for my highest good, I don't want it. And talk about this a lot because as you start to grow and heal and evolve, you don't want the stuff that's going to bring negativity. If it's not enhancing your life, then is it, it's not for your highest good. And that's how I see things today. And I used to worry about how people feel about that, but today I put myself first, which I haven't done with the first half of my life. I was putting everybody else's needs before my own. And then when you neglect yourself, it affects your physical and mental health. And if you can't take care of that, you can't take care of anybody or anything else around you. And never allow anyone to tell you that you shouldn't love on yourself. You should love on yourself. Because if you don't love you, how do you expect anybody else to love you? You have to love yourself. And as you do the work little by little, make steps, baby steps, and you keep persevering and you don't get up, know that you're going to fall some days, but you get up again. Even if you fall in for a day or two, you get right back up. You don't give up on yourself. You always invest in you. And as you continue to go, you're going to see results. You may see small things. And then as you continue to go and keep persevering, you're going to see other things happen. And it's going to motivate you to keep investing in yourself, no matter what anybody else thinks, because that's important. That's how you grow. That's how you heal that inner child that's traumatized by pain and grief. You never get over losses of loved ones, but you can get through the pain of it. And then as you grow and evolve, you can be an example to somebody else who's going through it, because you can say, hey, I went through A, B, C, and D just a few years ago. And once they see that you went through the same thing that they went through, you can help them through your example by sharing your story with them, because they may hear something that resonates with them and that can help them in what they're currently going through. You never know. Anything that you're doing that's uplifting could be helping and inspire somebody else. And that's the key factor to do that. And that's why I'm on this channel, because people need help today. We know about the other stuff, the toxicity, the fake love, the fakeness of this world that people show, you know. And I'm about being real, genuine. If it's not real, I don't want it. And that's how I feel about everything in life. If it's not going to enhance and improve my life, I don't want anything to do with it. And, sometimes you have to be a little bit selfish in order to heal yourself. You can't worry about what, this person over here is saying or that one. Oh, you're spending time alone. Sometimes you need to spend time alone. That's how you love on yourself. That's how you take care of yourself. Taking a nice bubble bath with some candles and some music, making that favorite meal that you like, or buying that favorite dress or flowers. Do things to pamper yourself, because it's going to uplift your spirit and keep you in high vibing, instead of being depressed. It's so important to keep going, no matter who doesn't understand it. You owe it to yourself to invest in you. And as you keep going and going, you're going to experience that inner peace. And then you get to the point, like I am, you're unbothered by what people are saying and the gossip and the lies and the viciousness, because some people are going to do that, because as you grow and evolve and heal, you're not the same person as you used to be. And the old people that you had around you don't understand that. But that's okay as well. You keep going, because you're going to grow and heal, and you're going to be an example to someone else. And that's important, because you could be saving somebody's life. you know when you pay it forward and you tell your story, how you went through something that was so traumatic and you didn't think you were going to get up again, and God helped you to get up, and you talk about different examples of how you got up and got through some things, you may be saving somebody else's life who may be on the brink of despair, because they're in a deep depression. So please share this video, and help others as well, because we don't know what people are going through today, because not everybody is open to communicate about what they're going through and their pain and stuff. Not everybody does that. Some people, have pain and they are in silence. But if they hear a message and it resonates with what they're going through, and they hear some ways that, you've gotten through it, it may help them with their own situation. So keep sharing these videos, keep showing up here on the channel and tell other people. This is a no judgment zone. We're not here to judge people and put people down. We have enough of that stuff in the world today. Okay? We're here to uplift and to help people. And if these videos are helping people to feel better and they're going to do better, then we're paying it forward. And then you guys go and do the same thing. We're paying it forward and helping other people and uplifting them. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. It is important to just, love on yourself. And as you feel better, you're going to want to do more. So that is the message today. Please keep sharing these videos. I'll be back tomorrow. As I said, it'll probably be after 2 o'clock. I can't give a specific time, but it'll be in the afternoons now for the next 2 weeks. And take care of yourself. The weather is getting better outside now. The sun is shining. Go out into nature. Take a walk by the water. Do things that make you feel good. And then look in that mirror and tell yourself every day that you are worth it. Doesn't matter what you've gone through. You are worth it. And love on yourself and know your self-worth. You begin to know your self-worth as you start to grow and take care of yourself. Doesn't matter what other people think you're worth. It's irrelevant. Just keep going. Don't give up on yourself, people, please. I'm a living example of that. And I did this with God. I didn't have a support system around me. And I have days where I get really depressed because I miss my mom and, the friends that I lost, but I keep going, because know this before I leave today. Know this, that anyone who lost loved ones, they would never, ever want you to be, and the loved ones who are still with you, they would never want you to stay in a place of depression and pain and isolation. That's not living, that's existing. You know, they will always want you to embrace life to the fullest and live it to the fullest. Go out and do that and take one day at a time, one step at a time. This is not a race, at your own pace. The important key factor is never to give up on yourself. It is better to have peace than to be in pieces. That's the message today. And thank you for being here, everyone. I'll see you again tomorrow. And we'll have a new message tomorrow. And remember, all the pieces of what these messages are leads to healing. We always talk about healing ourselves and uplifting. Thank you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good evening.